You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
Hi, I'm born and bred in England. The World Cup has started. England won 6-2, but I am repping the Netherlands today because why not?
Bro, I seen the orange, right? And I'm like, bro, you got your Netherlands orange on right now. And then I like, is that a Dolphin jacket? But I didn't even know it was the what do they call them? Orange Crush? Is it? Hold up, there's another one they got. Orange Army, maybe they call it. I don't know. There's some nicknames out there I heard for the Netherlands.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's like he's a Eagles fan, born and bred in the UK, but he's like a massive Dutch phobe, like everything Netherlands. Before we delve into the usual two things, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my wrist is hurt my thumb. I'm on an injury report.
So you're injury prone. I don't want to hear nothing about Charlie Touche being injury prone no more because you got your injury now.
I'm still here.
Hey,
excuse me. I injured my thumb in the warm-up in the game on Saturday. We recorded on Sunday. Obviously, didn't say anything about that. And even though I injured the thumb, I kept on playing. I played the full 90 minutes, played in goal, got man of the match. So all I'm saying is I played through my injuries, okay? I played through my injuries. I've got the little support, the thumb support on, but I still played. That's the first thing. Before I ask how you are, this arrived in the post today. The Cameron Wake vintage jersey. Shout out to Tom for sending it. We will announce how you can win it on the preview of the Texans game. But yeah, Cameron Wake vintage jersey, Go Time Dolphins giveaway coming up very, very soon. Well, Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
Hey, Tom, we appreciate you, man. Bro, we got a guest on the show today. Before we get into who the guest is, and we haven't even had this man on for a while, but I just really want to get this stat in on this side of the episode, Kadeem. The Jets gained a grand total. Oh, I'm sorry. The Paper Planes managed to gain a grand total of 2 yards in the second half of their game Sunday against the Patriots, bro. They averaged a whopping 2.77 inches in the second half, bro. How do you do that, Kadeem?
I tell you how. You put me at quarterback. That's how you do it. You put me a quarterback with this on my throwing hand, and I'm gonna. You know what? No, that's harsh because I probably get one throw and someone takes it for 10 yards. I'll probably just about give you that. That game was awful,
bro. Like, remember when you hit me up on this podcast? He was like, "Hey, bro, if you play the quarterback for the Dolphins, will we get one win for the season or something like that?" Yeah. No, we're not getting no wins. It's self-awareness. We're not gonna get no wins, but bro, we're gonna average more than dang 2.7 yards a half or 7 inches a half, bro. We're gonna get more than 2 yards a half. I promise you that, bro. I don't know how you do that as an NFL football team. Listen, it's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond but across the world. I'm your boy Charlie Touche. I got my co-host Kadeem Simmons with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. And we feeling real good right now, Kadeem. What's the record? 7-3. First in the AFC East, second seed in the AFC. It's real cool right now in the Dolphin family. You know what I'm saying? I can't say no one's going at each other's throats because Dolphin Twitter is still Dolphin Twitter, right? But we got a GTD affiliate that always comes on to this podcast, always shows love, was here since inception, the first guest I think we ever had, right?
Quite possible, yeah.
It's the first guest we've ever had on this podcast. He's family. Like, we can't even he's not a guest, he's family. And I always say he knows where the cups are in the kitchen. He can make his own drinks, right? But this is the first time we had him on this season, bro. We got to chop it up with ShareRide Steve. ShareRide Steve is in the building. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, boys. I am doing fantastic. It's a pleasure as always.
What's up with ShareRide Mini? How you doing?
He's getting big, man. Growing like a weed. They say it goes by fast, and they don't lie.
Bro, you had you sent a picture, and I think it was a Tua jersey. He was wearing a Tua jersey, and I think it was against the Bills, was it, or the Patriots? That we got when he was wearing that jersey when you sent me the pic. Oh, we lost ShareRide Steve. He's frozen. Steve. Like, man, like this is what happens when you don't bring somebody on in a long time. We forget how the service might not be good, and here we go improvising once again. So we're gonna wait for ShareRide Steve to pop back up, but we'll get back to this Jet game again, Kadeem.
Well, very, very quickly, I was looking. No, I went to ShareRide Steve to announce that you're saying Jets.
Yeah. So what you made of that Jets Patriots game, bro? Like, me and LB, we were watching it, and we had to decide what game we were going to watch. We were going to watch the Jet versus Patriots, or were we going to watch, I want to say, the Giants and Lions, right? So I like, bro, let's watch the Jets Patriots. It's AFC East. Let's see what we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, see if there's something to actually worry about. What did you make of that game, bro? How horrid it was?
Well, we were recording while it was going on, and I was looking to my right, and every time I looked over, someone was punting the ball. And I like good defensive football, but this wasn't two defenses stopping two amazing quarterbacks. This was two defenses basically doing the bare minimum to stop two quarterbacks who basically didn't want to be there. And to me, the most interesting thing isn't what happened during the game, it's what happened after the game. So, for example, Sauce Gardner, he liked a tweet where I think it was a fan or someone on Twitter basically. So Zach Wilson in the press conference said that he didn't let the defense down. Someone quote tweeted it saying, "You didn't let the defense down," and Sauce Gardner liked that tweet. And now Sauce is having to go, "Oh, I didn't mean to like that." It's like, dude, Sauce isn't an old vet in this game. He's young. He grew up in the Twitter age. You knew exactly what you was doing when you liked that tweet.
For sure.
So, it seemed that the Jets aren't currently willing to bring in or to bench Zach Wilson. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Don't bench Zach Wilson because, your season will go down the pan. And from what we're reading, from what we're hearing, this locker room sees themselves as a win-now team. And they believe they're a win-now team, but the quarterback is severely holding them back. And because of that, that's how you very easily, not just as a head coach, lose the locker room, but you lose your coaches as well. Because they're probably there going, we literally put up 3 points against a bad Patriots team. And if we put in Joe Flacco, he would have done enough to score a touchdown or at least, 2 or 3 field goals. So listen, the Jets want to mess around and keep Zach Wilson in, I'm fine. And if anything, extend him to a massive contract. I'm fine with it. Do it.
I can't believe it, though. Like, all jokes aside, well, maybe not all jokes aside, but most jokes aside, come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. 2.5 yards? Come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. I could do a quarterback sneak twice and get 2.5 yards, bro. That's wild, Kadeem. Listen, man. So, we didn't get any favors. And you know what? I wouldn't even ask for a favor from the Chargers. Forget them. But we didn't get any favors last night from the Chargers and the Chiefs game. How realistic is a 1 seed right now? And would you be content and happy with the 2? Or is it like, is 1 seed a bust for us?
No, listen, I think I'm not going to speak for all Dolphins fans. If you offered me the number 2 seed heading into the season, I would 100% take it from you straight away, because that means we've played elite football. You know, given that this is, listen, we could all be really hopeful and excited for what Coach McDaniel can do in the off season, but rookie head coach making rookie head coaches, decisions, mistakes. You're probably not thinking to get the 2 seed, and if you are, realistically, you're probably thinking Buffalo got the 1 seed. So if you've got the 2 seed and Buffalo got the 1 seed, that means you've had a better season than the Chiefs, the Ravens. I know some people don't see the Bengals as that kind of team, but given what they've done over the past few years with Joe Burrow, you kind of have to give them a smidgen of respect. But no, listen, the way the Chiefs are playing at the moment, I'd still take the 2 seed right now, because especially with Tua missing 2.5 games, still get the 2 seed. It just shows how strong this team is as a whole.
Hey, so I just sent you something to your phone. I know we said we was going to get better with this, but I sent you a graphic, and the graphic is the current AFC playoff picture. Kansas City is first. If you could pull up this graphic for everyone watching, Kansas City is first. Buffalo is second. I'm lying. My bad. Kansas City's first. Miami's second. Tennessee is third. Baltimore is fourth. So as we sit right here, and if you're listening to the audio version, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate all the day ones. That's how we started. We started in the audio version. So we appreciate all the support we get via audio. We ask you to please give us a 5-star review on iTunes and Spotify. We rock with y'all. And if you're watching on the YouTube version, you see the graphic up right now. It's the current AFC playoff picture. So while Steve is rebooting his computer, we're gonna talk about this playoff picture real quick. As it sits, KC gets the bye. Miami will play Cincinnati in Miami. New England will play at Tennessee, and Buffalo will play at Baltimore. I kind of disagree with you, Kadeem. I think KC would get the 1. I don't think Buffalo would get the 1. I think Buffalo is in trouble, honestly. And the type of trouble I'm talking about isn't drop everything, Craig's in trouble, come quick. Not that type of trouble. But Josh Allen has an issue. And this is real. This is not me just throwing shade on the quarterback. Josh Allen has an issue. He doesn't make the best decisions when it's time to make the right decisions. You know what I'm saying? Is he a freak of nature when it comes to being a quarterback that could get up out the pocket and scramble? Absolutely, 1,000,000%. But you can't dismiss the fact that he has 7 turnovers in the past 3 games, or they haven't had a second half touchdown in the past month. It's the wildest thing. You know what I'm saying? So Buffalo is they're in trouble right now, and I don't see them getting the 1 seed anymore. KC, however, has the 1 seed. Miami has the 2 seed. I like that Cincinnati matchup. It runs back the table, runs the game. It runs it back. Yo, let's get that Burrow Tua matchup, right? And you got Tennessee, New England, Baltimore, Buffalo. I don't mind the 2 seed at all, because it's not a given that KC gets by someone in the second round either. It's the dance. You feel me? But let's take this down. Bring in ShareRide Steve again. We'll catch him up on some of the playoff talk, bro. You back, Steve?
I think I'm good. Sorry, guys.
Nah, it's cool,
Technology
man. Like, yeah, we'll
strikes again.
No, you good, bro. We were talking about ShareRide Mini and his jersey, and I forgot what game it was. It was one of those oh my goodness games. I think it was Buffalo, was it not? Dang, ShareRide Steve intermittent over here.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, bro. It's cool, bro. We'll try it again, bro. Hey, so while we're trying to get ShareRide Steve connected, right? How about this, Kadeem? When you seen that playoff picture, what do you think is like not the hurdle for us, but what do you want to happen in that situation? What would you want to happen?
I just wanted to say, when I spoke about Buffalo getting the 1 seed, I meant that was the not not everyone thought it, but people would have assumed before a ball was snapped that Buffalo would get the 1 seed. Given, again, you said it on the podcast, Buffalo probably loses 2 games all season. And worst case scenario, they beat us twice during the regular season, and then we lose to them in the postseason. That would be worst case scenario. So when I mentioned Buffalo getting a 1 seed, that was before a ball was snapped. Obviously, as the season has progressed, it seems that the Kansas City Chiefs, without Tyreek Hill, is still, they're still just as powerful. Travis Kelce is probably the best tight end to ever play the game. You just kind of have to accept it, and the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs. In terms of what our hurdle would be, as I bring it back up, listen, to invoke the horrible name of Colin the Clown, we've beaten we've beaten 3 of the teams, on this list: Buffalo, the Ravens, and New England. We should have beaten Cincinnati, but we know 2 went out. And if we were to meet the Titans again, it won't be the Titans game we saw last year. It just wouldn't. So I don't see any hurdles per se, but it's also one of the situations where you have to somewhat respect the teams for getting this far, and to know that it's not just any given Sunday. It's also, as they say, it's a dance. You get your ticket, and anything happens. No one expected the Eagles to win the playoffs when they did, to win the Super Bowl. They did, and these things just happen. You just have to take each game as they come.
Bro, let's be realistic. Let's take this down. Go back to our regular setup. Let's be realistic. No one expected the Eagles to win that Super Bowl. No one expected the Bengals to go to that Super Bowl. And no one expected the 49ers to go to that Super Bowl when they went to the Super Bowl in Miami versus the Chiefs, right? When Mahomes won his championship. Nobody's seen those teams coming. People kind of see us coming right now. They like, all right, hold on. Miami got an offense over there, and we're on the radar now. So we're not sneaking up on nobody anymore necessarily. Maybe kind of, but not really. Here's my thing. And I wish ShareRide Steve was here to hear this. He asked me probably 2 weeks ago. It's like, hey, we got to try to get a home game in the playoffs. And he said we had to try to get a home game in the playoffs, and mentioned, KC and Buffalo. And at that time, I'm like, bro, I don't care who we play, and I don't care where we play, bro. I don't. Like, we have a good team, and I understand that this is new territory for us Dolphin fans that are of age. Like, we haven't been around for a good Dolphin team in the playoffs, but we have a good team. This team can travel. I assure you that we can travel. Now, I know I've been on this podcast and I've said a few times that Buffalo, I'm worried about Buffalo. I know I said that a few times. However, the last 3 weeks, I'm like, bro, Buffalo's beatable, bro. Like, you get Josh Allen in a situation where it's a 1-score game. They've only won 2 of they're 2-9 in the past in all their 1-score game situations with Josh Allen. Like, come on, bro. Get these boys in a 1-score game and anything can happen. And again, we had that conversation. You rather have the offense on the field or you rather have the defense on the field? Third time's a charm. ShareRide Steve is back in the building. What's up, bro?
Sorry, boys. I know I'm dealing with big-time professionals now. Please don't hold this against me, and I hope I can come back another day. But
no, man. You good, bro? Hey, Steve, this is for people like me and you. We kind of remember a Dolphins team that was promising. We had some promising Dolphin teams. This is in our lifetime too. I'm not talking about our daddy's Dolphins. I'm talking about our Dolphins. We had some promising Dolphins teams. So that's why when we had this little run of post Marino, where we were sent into oblivion, where we were like not even in the NFL no more. It was like heartbreaking. When we have this team right now, Steve, what are your thoughts about where we are, our current situation? Like, are you optimistic? Are you glass half empty? or are you like, you know what? Let me just wait and see. Where you at with it?
You know where I'm at, man.
I know where you at.
Charlie, you teeing me up, man.
Let's go.
We're going to the Super Bowl, baby. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Like, I am drunk off the Kool-Aid, and I'm not. I'm not sobering up anytime soon. I told you this. This is the best Dolphin team in my lifetime. It is. It just is. No one loves Dan Marino more than me, but he never had defensive help. And he had defensive help in the very end of his career where he was a shell of himself. And we now – and I didn't feel like this at the beginning of the year. I didn't even feel like this a few weeks ago. But, man, I'll tell you what the last piece was. I thought it was going to be Jones coming back. I was like, man, this is what we need. Mm-hmm. It was Wilson, because now we got a running game. And as nice as Tua's been playing, just off the charts good, off the charts. We still we were relying on the pass game. And now pick your poison. And it's starting to click. And like what I mentioned to you the other day was, this is a new offense for everyone. And it was going to take time. We knew that running game was going to come eventually. Yep. We didn't know it was going to be mid-season, end of season, next year even. But McDaniel was going to run the ball. And I got my hotel already booked. Arizona, straight up.
Hold on. We got a show we got to do, bro. Chill out. Listen. So Steve hit my phone and said, he's like, yo, no, you know what? Matter of fact, let's do this. Earlier in the season, I would say maybe the second week of the season, third week of the season, you know, Baltimore, Buffalo, maybe, can't remember. Steve hit my phone and said, yo, I got to get back on the podcast. I'm being very transparent. He's like, yo, I got to get back on the podcast. And I told him, and I did not consult Kadeem when I did this. I just told Steve, like, nah, not right now. Like, I'm living it up. I don't want to put my friend ShareRide Steve in a situation where he's going to regret saying something 3 weeks later. Like, bruh, you tripping right now. I just wanted the harmonious, like the euphoric feeling of the victories we were getting, right? Because, you know, me and Steve don't always see eye to eye with what we want to do as a Dolphin fan, right? And then a couple weeks ago, I'm like, hey, Steve, what's up? Come on the podcast. We're ready for you now. You know what I'm saying? We can put our differences aside. Let's enjoy it. And Steve was like, nah. But he did say he was busy. I'm going to be fair. He said he was busy. And I was like, I don't know how really busy you was, bro. But okay, it's cool. Now that we're in a place where we had our bye week, we're 11 weeks into the season. I think everyone is waiting for this conversation that we had about quarterback rankings. We're not going there right now. I just want to live up the Dolphin fandom that we can all appreciate and enjoy right now, right? So we're not going into the quarterback rankings. But when ShareRide Steve said, I said, come back to the podcast. He said, all right, but just know, basically what he just said, I'm not sobering up anytime soon. And I got this, like, I got Dolphin Kool-Aid stains on my shirt, basically. Like, I just been, there's not enough to go around. Last but not least, I got to say this. And I wanted to mention it when you weren't here, Steve, but I got to say it now because you're here. Steve texted me, right? And he said, hey, bro, you thought about what you're going to be doing for the Super Bowl? And I was like, it's funny you just said that, Steve, because I literally just text my group chat. I'm like, yo, if we go to the Super Bowl, are we actually going to the game? Are we going to the Super Bowl city and watching it somewhere? Are we staying home and having a Super Bowl party and watching it? And then I text Steve. I'm like, bro, I don't know. And then Steve said, I think it's time to start thinking about it. Bruh, and just the fact we're having that conversation is like it's a legitimate conversation. You got to start thinking like, hey, what are our plans for February 12th? You know what I'm saying? So, Steve, bruh, you figured out what you're doing? You say you booked your hotel?
I'm keeping my options open, but
yeah,
it's one of the. There's one thing I did determine. I will be going to the playoff games to prevent the enemy from invading and taking over our home. And I prefer to watch it at home. I do. I like to, I like to get the details of the game, and going to the game has its there's pros to it and cons, but The Super Bowl, yeah. I mean, I could sit in a room by myself in a dark room, and like that could be one option, or I could be on the 50-yard line. Like it ranges. Like I have no idea, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it because it's happening. So I got to figure it out.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like as Dolphin fans, don't listen to social media and the people on social media like, oh my goodness, you guys are overdoing it and you guys are crazy or delusional. Like we used to be like, oh yeah, Dolphins going to Super Bowl every year. Like forget those people. Block that negativity out. It's actually a conversation. We actually have a MVP type quarterback on our team right now playing at an MVP level. We actually have a good team where we were talking to Steve before you came back on. There's a chance we get the 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna I'm about to call you Kareem. I'm gonna let Kadeem back in. I'm gonna let Kadeem back in, man. But yeah, man. Tee it up, Kadeem. What you got for ShareRide?
It's I think there's so much to say given last time he was on, and I was looking back at the first time. So Steve was the first guest we had on. It was episode 11, October 22nd, the day before my birthday. It was Fitz to Tua fallout. So this is just after this is literally like probably the day we benched Fitz, brought in Tua. The last time Steve was on, it was, I had it here a second ago. I lost it again now. It was basically, is Tua a top 5 quarterback? Yep. On June 18th, 2022, episode 205, can Tua become a top 5 quarterback in 2022? And I believe that was our quarterback rankings. I don't think Steve been on since our quarterback rankings.
Hold on. Was it the quarterback? No, it couldn't have been the quarterback. I think Steve came on after the quarterback ranking episode as well. It was almost like a part 2. Because I think we did the quarterback rankings, and then we did a part 2 to the quarterback rankings, which could have been that June episode.
Actually, yeah. So we've got either way. The last time Steve was on, we spoke about Tua being, can he be a top 5 quarterback? Mm-hmm. And I think it's fitting. It's the end of the bye week. We're looking forward to the Texans, but again, we've had discussion in the past few episodes. Anyone who says right now Tua isn't playing like a top 5 quarterback, clearly the Kool-Aid they're drinking means they're not actually watching the game and paying attention to it, and that's fine. Sometimes you drink the beer and you get those. I don't know. In the US, do you have beer goggles?
Yeah.
Clearly, people who don't believe Tua right now is playing like a top 5 quarterback are drunk on beer goggles, and that's cool. I'm okay with that. But yeah, when was Steve for you? When was the moment where you was like, okay, this is a Super Bowl bounty? Was it a particular game? Was it a particular moment? What point were you were like, no, this team's going to Super Bowl?
For a while, I thought we had like just a puncher's chance. We felt good about the offense. Like, even the Baltimore game, like, oh, we're explosive, but are we consistent? What's the defense looking like? There was, question marks, but still it was a fun team to watch and exciting. For me, it was really when this pass run started. Everything just seemed to slow down for the offense. Like Tua he's just comfortable, and the offensive line is playing well. Like the right tackle, no one's ever talking about him. He's getting the job done. Like the whole O-line is doing well. It's clicking. And defensively, yes, it doesn't look good, but we have defensive talent now. And I mean, real talent. We're not gelling yet, but who's been the dominant team for the past almost decade? The Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Have they had a dominant defense? No, they've been a dominant offense. And their defense plays well when they need to. And that's how I feel about it. There's who has the best defense in the NFL? Cowboys, and then who? You know what I mean? Like there's really not, and they're terrible against the run, or have been of late. They played obviously extremely well this past weekend. But what I'm getting at is it's when Wilson came, and that was the icing on the cake. That's when I was like, oh, this is looking right. No longer are we just running the ball to keep them honest. We're running the ball because it's working. And you get Tua playing off play action, the RPOs. it's just, it looks too easy for them right now. And I know we're peaking now. We'll see how. Right now, I absolutely love it. We're going to see what it looks like towards the end of the season. We got to keep this going. This momentum this wave we're riding needs to continue. But the icing on the cake was definitely Wilson and the physicality he brings. We just did not have that before. And I feel like we're an offense where there's no way we're putting up less than 21 points. There's just no way.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. 21 points, like 21. Like, we're getting 21 points. Listen, and we do this all the time, Steve. We liken our relationship with the Dolphins to a relationship with a woman. We do it all the time. And I think a lot of Dolphin fans have this PTSD, bro, where the past 20 years, literally the past 20 years and 22 starting quarterbacks, they don't know how to feel when they have something good in front of them. They really don't. And all jokes aside, well, maybe not all jokes, I punchline from earlier. Like, it's okay to say, yo, this is what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is what it feels like to have an actual team that is rocking with you, like, or an actual girlfriend that is loyal to you and treats you like the person you want to be treated like. You know what I'm saying? And that's the team that we have here. So now everyone is so reluctant to meet the team halfway. Like, yo, it's okay. Put your guard down. Enjoy it. Appreciate it now. And I said this to Kadeem maybe a week ago, Steve. It's almost like a series, one of them shows that you like a Game of Thrones or a Breaking Bad where everyone's talking about it and it's 4 seasons in and everyone's telling you, oh, you got to watch it. And you're like, nah, I don't want to watch it. And then next thing you know, you go to watching it, maybe not Game of Thrones because it's not the best. But anyway, you go to watching this series and then you realize, yo, I was late. I was tardy to the party. And that's what I feel like the Dolphin fans of 40 years, or 30 years, they don't want to be early to this party. They rather be late to protect their own feelings. Like, yo, I don't want to get hurt again. Like, hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, it's okay to put your guard down. Start talking, like, take a play out of Tua's playbook. We're not afraid to talk about Super Bowls around here. Not in arrogance, but it's like, yo, this is a conversation. You can't tell me that you're afraid of the Bengals this year. You can't tell me that the Tennessee Titans, put fear into you, like, oh, I don't know if we could beat Tennessee this year. Like, nah, bro. Like, it's okay to be comfortable with your team. Am I tripping, Steve?
Not at all. I mean, it's an offensive league. It has been for years now. And I mean, I think we have a better offense than Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I say that because I watched the game last night and I really dialed in. I'm like, all right, let's look at what these boys are bringing. It's Kelsey. It's always been Kelsey. He's been the number one guy. It wasn't Hill, and that's no knock on Hill. He's phenomenal. But Kelsey is the engine that drives that machine there, besides Holmes, obviously. If you can somehow dial in a Bill Belichick defense where you take away their best weapon, and obviously when I say take away, limit, because Kelsey's he's gonna eat. But if you limit his impact plays in the game, who else is going to shine for them? I just don't. No one scares me. And Juju's hurt right now, and they got Tony, who, yes, he's a phenomenal talent, but he can't stay healthy. Yeah. And he's new to the offense. So is he going to have a mishap on the reverse and the timing's going to be off? Scantling, we can go down the list, and Hartman's out. They don't scare me. Buffalo is stumbling as well, and we know this. And Josh Allen has this little piece of his brain that is just he has this malfunction.
He's good for it.
It just happens. He's not Kirk Cousins malfunction, but you got to watch out. It can appear, and for whatever reason, when it comes down to crunch time, we saw it down in Miami right before halftime. He fumbles the snap. He can't spike the ball. Like silly little moments where you scratch your head and be like, what? How did that even happen? But he does, and he's good for it. So yeah, and the only one thing I will say is it was a little frightening, actually, to be honest, to see them actually get under center and run the ball, because that's where I didn't want Dable as our coach, because I'm like, I don't understand why he doesn't run the ball ever. And yes, I get Allen's your run game, and I understand the screen passes are essentially your running game and that sort of thing, but they got some decent guys that can run the ball. So we're going to see how their offense transforms the second half, but I just love our offense over everyone else. I think we have the best wideouts in the league, and Mike McDaniel is a genius.
Bro, I appreciate your authenticity, Steve, and that's why I think we're such good friends. Honestly, for everyone, all our new listeners, again, I met ShareRide Steve. I was what they call it, ride sharing. I was ride sharing. I was the driver. Picked up Steve, and that's why we call him ShareRide Steve. And we were both Dolphin fans, and turns out it was a match made in heaven. We just live it up now. So yeah, we're not always eye to eye with everything Miami Dolphins, but the authenticity is always there between the two of us. Like, yo, just be you, I'm gonna be me, and we're gonna meet somewhere, right? So yeah, when you have a take like that, I'm like, it lets me know that I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? If I know this Dolphin fan of 40 years isn't tripping either. What you got for us, Kadeem?
Yeah, that it's funny. You know, we say this quite a lot now. The team shouldn't be looking about playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game because they've got the Texans first, and they've got a run of games. But we have a podcast; we can do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want, so we can think that far ahead. And yeah, even I don't think anyone is ignoring what Mahomes can do. Mahomes will find a way. Even if we manage to quiet down Kelsey for a quarter, a half, Mahomes will find a way to get the ball to Tony Smith-Schuster, all those kind of guys. That kind of game could literally just come down to who gets that one stop. Because I think both offenses will go back to back, pillar to post, corner to corner, all that kind of stuff. And that game could come down to actually not just who can get that stop. Can Jason Sanders not let us down? And so, Steve, what's happened to Jason Sanders? I asked Charlie a few weeks ago, do you think he makes the end of the season? It seems from a few reports that he probably will, but there will be like significant competition next offseason for the number one kicker spot. Is Jason Sanders the proverbial weak link in this 2022 Miami Dolphins team at the moment?
Yes. But that's a weak link. It's a small link. It's not and I know kicking game special teams are very important, but I mean, I don't think we're going to go in a game needing 4 field goals from him either. So it's more that crunch time be right before the half, even, like, okay, Tua just moved us 35 yards and we're in field goal range, and it's a 55-yard field goal. You got to make that happen, and he hasn't done it this year. And it's a mental thing. The guy has the talent. It's not, well, he's pretty accurate, and he's in the past he's been okay. It's there. It's got to just be a mental thing. And I was even, when I went to the game earlier, I went to a couple games now. I'm watching him in warmups. Like, is this guy? Is he killing it? And he looked pretty good. I didn't think he was. I mean, warmups was warmups. It's like you go to an NBA game, they're making every shot. They're like
every shot. It's crazy. What Mike Miller for the Heat, bro? This man would hit like 22 consecutive threes in pregame. My bad. Go ahead, Steve.
So it's the same thing. I guess it's something I'm blocking out in my head a little bit, to be honest with you. I'm like, all right, you know what? This isn't. We need Hill to show up. We need Waddle. We need Tua. There's guys that we need every game, but Sanders, we might need him in certain games. So we'll see how it goes. But there's no question he's the one concern that can trip us up in a close game.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Hear me out. Jason Sanders is gonna continue to be inconsistent. Unfortunately for us, he's gonna be inconsistent. He's gonna hit 3 of 4 for the next 6 weeks. And he's going to give us the worst anxiety we've ever had as Dolphin fans. And we're going to get to the AFC Championship, and we're going to be down 2 points with 10 seconds to go. and no one's going to know what we're going to get out of Jason Sanders on a 47-yard field goal. And he's going to put it through. And we're going to all go crazy like, yo. Like, we're going to have to check on each other. Like, are you straight, bro? Are you good? We're going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I told LB, I'm like, bro, Dolphins win the Super Bowl. I'm shedding grown man tears. And get ready for it. I ain't even lying to you. And then I had to bring it back like, them tears might come in the AFC Championship if we win that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure how I act, but I do know, like, bro, you gotta believe we're well, I hope y'all watching the World Cup, but the World Cup going down right now. But listen, man, this guy Kadeem. So Steve, man, what are you hoping to see? Obviously, we want to see consistency. We want to see W's. But what are you hoping to see for the? We just came out to bye. What do you hope to see from the Dolphins moving forward this year?
Just keep it going, keep the momentum going, obviously. But I think my number one thing is this running game. I want 100 yards plus every game. I think we can do it. I think we should do it. And let's not rely on Tua having to throw 350 plus yards. It's really that simple. It just keep this momentum going. And then the defense, just gel, just figure out, just a bend but don't break. I don't understand why our pass rush isn't more dominant. I would like to see just more creativity up front. Somehow, Brandon Jones being out for the year really hurt us. He was a nice spark for QB pressure when we needed it. We need to find Chubb, Phillips. I just believe in these guys. I believe in them. I think we have a really good defense line. Our linebackers frustrate me a lot, but man, our D line, to me, it just is so talented, and they can impact the game so much. It's just, and it goes back to what I was saying about, how confident I am compared to the Chiefs and everyone. Give me Howard, give me Chubb, give me Phillips to make a play in the playoffs in the big game. I think we have the stars over there. The snowman, that man's going to make a play for me. I feel it. So I just think, yeah, they're not playing great as a unit. I think Boyer is definitely on a hot seat. I mean, he's just, you can't have that much talent and just look that bad for stretches. But the run game essentially, and then pass rush, which I think we're more than capable of doing.
Bro, I know you listen to the podcast, and I've said it before. Here's my thing about the defense. I feel like we're not too far removed from being a good defense. And it's not like we're a terrible defense. We're not terrible. So where the defense gives me hope is knowing that we can play at a high level any given Sunday, as opposed to just having the defense is a liability. They're not a liability. And they can actually come through and win us a game. If it hasn't happened, I don't want to say maybe it hasn't happened yet this year, but I believe they can do it. So that's why I'm not too concerned about this defense. And that's how you got things lining up the right way, man. You got something go ahead, Kadeem, my bad.
No, it's cool. So I think I saw a stat saying that the Dolphins have the highest red zone percentage in the team, in the league on offense, but they also have the worst red zone percentage on defense. I think that both numbers are something like 28%. And I've been saying it for weeks. This defense is bend and break for essentially 3 quarters. And I think it's very much a case of, are we going to give up 30 to 40 points every week on defense? No, we're not. But are we going to keep bad teams around for a bit too long? Probably. It's very much a case of, I think Josh Boyer does really well of adjusting to what teams are doing during the game. That kind of makes you think, well, why aren't we? What are we doing during the week, which means we start badly, start slowly. But I also don't know how much of it is, we've played the first 10/11 weeks without Byron Jones. We've now lost friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, and realistically, given the type of looks and the type of pressure the Dolphin team wants to send and, bluff, I guess. Yes, there's a lot of talent, still got Phillips, We had obviously Ogba now injured. We know the guys who we have, but just how important are, I guess, both Joneses, and is it more a case of you take one key piece out of this defense and it just can't quite hit the level that we're expecting? So listen, who knows? Mike McDaniel in his Monday press conference said that he's still not expecting Byron Jones back this week. And I know me and my brother Charlie went back and forth over whether this is going to be a can't remember the wide receiver
Will Fuller. And I don't appreciate Byron Jones and Will Fuller in the same sentence. They're not the same, bro.
Okay, but Steve,
I don't appreciate that, bro.
Steve, as a neutral, can you at least, or I guess can or can't you see the point I was making in that we were told it was not that serious of an injury and we should never sort of do it again. Like they're very similar circumstances.
Yeah, clearly this is something we're keeping it under wraps in house because you don't see a lot of information on it. I personally have given up on it. I'm moving forward for weeks and weeks. I was just like, oh, we need him back. We need him back to like really, give us that extra juice. I don't think we have to have him back. I mean, obviously, I would love to have him back. It would be amazing, but I don't think we're seeing him this year. That's my guess. I think if we make our run in the playoffs, I think he's going to try hard as hell to get out there. But even if you're out there and are you a liability? You know what I mean? So that's my concern is what percentage are you at? Because Kader Kohou, I'd rather have him, a healthy Kader Kohou, on the wideout and when the game's on the line. So we'll see. Yeah, no, Will Fuller, is he in the league anymore?
No, Fuller? He's not. That's so disrespectful to put my dog in the same sentence. Will Fuller,
again, it was. I'm not going back and forth over this. It literally was the circumstance. The Byron Jones situation is way too similar to the Will Fuller situation, in my opinion. I'm not saying they're the same player. I'm just saying take one situation and another situation. Listen, in terms of injury proneness, Charlie is the king of that. Charlie knows exactly what it's like to be injury prone.
I'm not injury prone though, bro.
You're not injury prone.
I've suffered some unfortunate and untimely injuries. Like, it just happened. Like, all right, this is not ideal. I just happened to get an injury, still in second base in the semifinal of a baseball game. Like, but we won that championship and we won that game 1-0 because of the base that I stole. You feel me? So that gotta mean something, Kadeem.
Sorry. The run you stole or the base you stole?
Well, I stole the base, and then the person came in for me.
So no. So you didn't steal the run; you stole the base. Someone else stole the run. So if you look at the stats, they will say run scored by so and so, not Charlie Touche. Charlie, you get the thank you very much little sticker. You get the thank you sticker. That's what you get. But the guy that got the run gets the MVP. Well done. The one run we scored was because of you. So thank you.
I ain't gonna lie, I stole that base. The pitcher threw back to the bag like 7 times, bro. He knew I was going. He knew I was going. Hey, going somewhere, meet about 90 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm just saying, Steve, man, come on over to bonus time with us. I know we got some more. You about to say something?
Do you guys think that Jones is coming back this year?
No,
man. Listen. I'm gonna be real with you. And let's be real. I believe this was a hiccup. And I believe everyone, the building, as well as, because it's the business. There's agents and there's Jones and there's his career. And then there's the Dolphins and the GM and what they want to do and don't want to do. And I genuinely believe everyone was on board and thought, oh, yeah, this is going to be an off-season thing. We'll be back for the start of the season. And then when he didn't come back in the start of the season, it was, we're going to take it a couple weeks. It's going to be a couple weeks. And now I think there's a genuine concern like, there's a problem here. Is it even threatening your career now? You know what I'm saying? So that's unfortunate. And I think it's exactly what you said, Kadeem, ShareRide, Steve. Like, if he comes back, it's because he wants to be a part of it, not because he's in shape enough to come back. And it's concerning. But we do have a godsend in Kader Kohou. And in my opinion, Kader Kohou's a better slot corner and he's going to be one of the best slot corners in the game. But you could put him on the outside and feel good about it. So Kader Kohu is saving us right now.
Yeah, I think, and the interesting / weird thing is that we've seen Byron Jones this season. We've seen him running. When he came off IR, we saw him run. So okay, cool. He was going to be back, and I think Brian Flores and Mike McDaniel are two complete different coaches. I think Brian Flores was hiding the wolf in the situation. I think Mike McDaniel was genuinely thinks we'll get him back. But I think what they are, I guess, not revealing is that there's legit something wrong. And it's like, you know what? We're not going to rush him back. But I was like, guys, I can do something. Like, no, let's take our time. We don't want you to come back one snap and then you're done. We'd rather, again, keep rehabbing, keep going. I genuinely think if this was we're not going to see him again, they would shut him down and say, you know what, we're not going to risk it. But I think there's a belief that they can get him back. They just don't know how to. And that's, in my opinion, the real shame.
Yeah, that's why I think it's both sides too. I think everybody wants to play ball here, but it's not happening, unfortunately. Hey, bonus time, man. ShareRide Steve, man. Let's chop it up. Kadeem, appreciate you coming on. Fighting through an injury, battling through. You gave us something. I like it. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons and ShareRide Steve, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time.
What you got for us, Kadeem?
Looking way ahead. Josina Anderson tweeted on Monday, as the coaching carousel draws near, one name to watch for that's gaining momentum is Dolphins QB coach / pass game coordinator Darrell Bevell, given his success with Tua this season. Bevell was blah blah. This is, I guess, the pros and also the my days is the annoying part of being a successful team, which is teams want to take your coaches, your coordinators. I guess looking super far ahead, is this something do you think Darrell Bevell goes this offseason, or will Mike McDaniel be able to keep his staff together for at least another year, Steve?
Yeah, you just threw me a curveball because I saw a report where Smith was the hot name being talked about in the league, our run game coordinator.
So that makes two of them.
Yeah, I mean, Bevell, you know what? I like the Bevell move originally because it was like, okay, we need experience. McDaniel needs to get guys around him that have been there. But he's looking a little better right now because Seattle, that coaching staff, my goodness, Carroll, what you just don't ever see the quarterback leave and the coach stay. And that's what happened in Seattle, and Seattle's shining now with that coaching staff. So he was part of that, and I think he deserves credit. So there's no doubt he has respect in the league. Him getting a head coaching job, I don't think that's going to happen. That's my belief. Now, he may get another offer offense coordinator-wise and get paid a lot more. That's possible, because he's only a passing game coordinator. He's not.
Yeah, he's just a quarterback coach.
He's coach. Yeah. That's right. So, I mean, he might get a promotion somewhere else, but he's not going to get a head coaching job, in my opinion.
Hey, listen, I wasn't big on the Darrell Bevell hire anyway. So cool. We appreciate you. And just like everybody else on the team, the Myles Gaskins, 40 Acres and a Hellcat, the Mike Gesicki's, the Savant Ahmeds, the Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealers, because we have this belief that we're only going to be able to retain one of them. The hope is you win it now so everyone can go happily ever after. Everyone could go their separate ways and we won a championship in Miami. Now Mike Gesicki could go get his bag. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to dang, we had unfinished business down there. It didn't go the way I wanted. Now we win the championship after Mike Gesicki leaves. Like, no one wants that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's cool. Daryl Bevel could do his thing. But I got something I wanted to bring up, Steve, because I can't let you off scot-free, bro. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a little bit of this. Justin Herbert has 15 interceptions in the fourth quarter alone. Tua has 18 interceptions in his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert looking like Jay Cutler right now, bro. Big, sexy, tall, strong arm, but don't got the clutch gene. That's your boy. Holla at me. What's going on?
Jay Cutler, is that the same quarterback that you like?
Yeah, I like Jay Cutler.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're talking about
authenticity, baby. Authenticity. I'm just saying.
Right. I'll tell you what, Bevel, he might be interviewing for that job because that is probably the second worst coaching staff, in my opinion, behind Denver in the league right now.
Denver's
I think
atrocious.
That's horrific. It's a high school coaching staff. It looks so bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm not going to go in depth right now or anything like that. But I will say he's going to be in the new system next year, and we'll see what happens. But I'll take it, man. I'll tell you one thing: if the right guy gets in there, and then you got Cleveland next year, my goodness, it's gonna be crazy for years to come in the AFC. I mean, I know this year kind of let down with the Raiders and Broncos being terrible.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the Browns are on their way. They're next year.
So you think you really think the Browns are gonna turn into something now with Watson coming back?
Oh, for sure.
And for those who don't know, we had a epic quarterback rankings episode, and it was epic. And that's all I can say is it was epic. And we kind of put everything on the back burner for now. So that's why I had to take a little jab at Steve, man.
And let it be known, I am so ready for this next one.
I'll start with this already. I've started my list already. I am ready.
What are y'all ready for, bro? Well, how can y'all two be ready?
Because I'm ready. Because I'll tell you why, yeah. Because I know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're gonna do the intro. You know, Steve's gonna jump in, and Charlie's gonna go. Listen, I told you these two boys. I had two at top 10 last year. These two boys had it down in the 20s. Now, blah blah. I know how to go into play out, so I'm getting ready from now. I'm not even coming up with my excuses. I explained perfectly on that episode. I explained perfectly again.
Hey, you know what? We ain't even got to tease it no more than that. Y'all just stick around. We're gonna have a quarterback rankings episode. Don't know when it's gonna happen, but just know it's gonna probably be the best episode we've ever had on Go Time Dolphins. We've had OJ McDuffie on Go Time Dolphins. We've had Myles Gaskin, Javon Holland, friend of the podcast, William Hayes. Am I missing somebody, Kadeem?
Nope, that's all of them.
Bruh, we had some Dolphin players on this podcast. No episode would be better than the quarterback rankings episode when everyone has to eat crow on this podcast. I'm just saying, I'm chefing it up. I'm chefing it up, baby. I'm chefing it up.
When you say everyone, yourself included, right?
How's it myself? How's it myself?
I'm just saying. Oh, you're not ready? Okay.
Hey, look, we'll do it. We'll do it on that episode, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Hey, Steve, we appreciate you coming on.